It's Elmo, E-L-M-O, Robledo, R-O-B-L-E-D-O. I was working yesterday at the hospital, part-time job, and just happened to pull it up on the internet. And tried calling my nephew, and then finally tried calling my sister, and she was trying to call me at the same time. I returned a phone call from her, and she asked me if I had seen, the news. And so we talked very briefly about it. She said he's been shot. She's talked to him, but he's doing okay.
Now, was he able to call from the hospital? I mean, how did he...
You know what? I honestly don't know how he was able to get word out to my sister, Liz. He's got a cell phone. I don't know if he was able to use that cell phone. I would imagine he used his cell phone while he was down there because of all the lines. I'm sure they were all jammed with everybody trying to call in and out.
Well, you heard about, we talked to your brother-in-law and just basically how he was shot. And you go through that.
Yeah. From what I understand in talking to Rex, that Nathan was at the medical facility there on base. I believe probably getting in preparation for deployment to Afghanistan after the first of the year. He was there, and he said the door got thrown open. He heard a bunch of yelling and then a lot of gunfire. He, along with whatever other soldiers that were in that facility, I don't know who yelled first, but I was told that they started, Nathan started yelling and getting everybody towards the back door. And as they were, at some point in time during that is when he was shot. I understand he got a grazing injury to the hip and then a injury to his calf, which I understand the bullet went completely through his calf. I don't even think that slowed him down. He continued to, try to help others and make sure everybody got out of harm's way.
So he would have to still be in the hospital then if he calf injury? I mean,
You know what, and I believe, to my knowledge, he's being treated on base. I've never been down to Fort Hood, Texas. I know he's been through there a few times, but yeah, that's where he's at, to the best of my knowledge, is there at the medical facility at Fort Hood.
Now, what division of the Army is he?
You know what? I honestly don't know what division he is. I believe when he was in Iraq, he was a heavy equipment mechanic, going out to pick up the tanks and heavy armored personnel carriers and stuff that may have been broken down. I believe that's what his duties were while he's over in Iraq.
So he's done one tour of duty already?
One tour of duty over in Iraq. He actually got out of the service for a short time. The public employment was not conducive to his continuance, so he decided to go back in. And my stomach tells me, my inside tells me he's going to make this a career. He's not going to let this slow him down. Every time I talk to him, and I talked to him several times on the telephone throughout, talking to see how things are going, and every time before we hang up, I always tell him, be safe. Be safe. And his answer to me is always.
And when was he going to be deployed to Afghanistan?
If memory serves me correctly, he was going to be coming home on leave sometime around the 12th of December, and I believe he said he had to be back on base January 4th. Now, at what point after he returns to base he gets deployed, I'm not sure, but I do know he said it was going to be sometime after the first of the year, and I believe he also said it was going to be for at least a year that he'll be over in Afghanistan.
And does he have any kids? Is he married
No.
or anything?
Not married, no kids. He does own a home in Lafayette, which he has not lived in for some time. But no, all his family's back here. His mother, his father, his father's wife. So all his aunts and uncles. My sister Liz, she lives here. She's raised him, on her own. He and his brother, and she works over at Purdue University.
We were talking a little bit about you never expect this stateside. Let's talk a little bit about that.
You don't. We've worried about him being over in Iraq and, making sure he stayed safe over in Iraq. You would never imagine something like this would happen stateside, especially on one of the largest military bases there is in the United States. And for this to happen to the soldiers prior to their deployment, scary. I'm sure it can be unnerving. I know my sister's quite upset, and you appreciate all the support from the community for her in going through this.
He's made it through one tour of duty, and then to come back and have that happen.
Oh, absolutely, and that's the thing that's a little unnerving, knowing what he's been through and knowing what he was going to go back to, or the potential for what he's going to go back to, and then for this to happen while he's preparing to go.
What it would do to your psyche too, I can't imagine.
He's ready. He's ready. He's not going to let this slow him down. He's got a job to do, and he's ready to do it.